Over the past few weeks, I've been meeting up with Jay Andrews, a striker from a well-known championship club. Jay suffered an injury to his knee during a tackle that left the future of his footballing career uncertain. I want to discuss the pressures footballers face when playing at a professional level. I have been told that football is a game of ups and downs. 90% of your time playing or training, you are down mentally and physically, and working as hard as you can. That 10% of the time when you're up is when you win a match, a cup, a league, or even score a goal. That the downs outweigh the ups, but the ups are so good, you'll put yourself through anything to get that up again. So let's go back to the beginning of your career.
Yeah.
Where did it all begin for you?
For me, I was never part of a team or a club or anything like that. Just from a young age. At that time, it was nothing more than just playing on the street.
Why football? What was it about the sport that made you gravitate towards it?
I think it helps when you're naturally good at a sport. But I think as well for me, I tried many sports growing up at that age, but there was just something about football where I got a thrill out of it. Whether it was getting the ball to your feet, dribbling past the opposition, scoring a goal, there was a thrill, there was an actual genuine excitement when I was doing these things.
Was it at 13 when you realised there was just something about football that you loved?
Yeah, definitely. It was I just couldn't stop playing it at that age. I was just loving what I was doing playing it. But obviously I never saw it as anything other than just playing the game.
Your journey into football was really fast-paced. 1 month you're just starting off playing football for the first time. The next month you're moving up a level. The next month again. You're moving up through all those ranks and all those steps really, really fast. Did it ever occur to you that, this football job, this is easy, I'm just getting a trial here and getting on this team? And were you under any illusion?
It was easy for me to do all those things, but yeah, it was a bit of a blur at the same time. I didn't notice my improvement as a player almost because it happened that fast. Mm-hmm. But if I were to look at myself at that stage too, when I was a 13-year-old kid, I came on leaps and bounds as a player.
Did you feel the need that you had to always get ahead of other players, always keep up your fitness and strive to be the best that you could be and the best that there was?
Yeah, it became a bit of an obsession for me, but I think that just came from me falling in love with the game.
At that moment, did you feel like when you were performing, you couldn't let anybody down?
I'd say from when I was playing from the under 15 to under 20s, it was all about me and just my love for the game and enjoying football. But as I grew older and the pressure, it started to become more realistic about becoming professional. Mm-hmm. I think that's when I started to perform more for my family than myself.
So after these quick few months, what was the next step in your career?
So I got an interest from 2 championship clubs. The first club trial didn't go that well, to be honest. I was really annoyed at the time, but those things happen, and I always believe things happen for a reason. So I kind of just put that to the back of my head. I had a second trial with another championship club. It was a 3-day trial, and I was pretty much thrown in the deep end, to be honest with it. But then obviously when the scouts said everything you've done now is nothing compared to what you're about to go through, it kind of took me back a bit, thinking, oh my god, what
have I let myself
in? What else do I have to do to prove myself almost? I was going to a club where it had some of the best players in Europe, it had the best facilities you could money could buy. And you're going into the training ground, seeing these professional footballers, the guys you saw on Sky Sports every weekend. Mm-hmm. So it was more of just a genuine buzz, thinking that can be me one day. I felt mentally I was there now. Mentally, I had that football mindset, that football brain. I remember the coach actually just coming up to me. He's really friendly, and I think he liked me as well. We were having really a good laugh, good conversations. Mm-hmm. And he said to me at the end of the day, he said, just keep doing what you're doing over the next couple of days, and you'll be on your way. And that was a big boost, knowing that I was doing all the right things to get seen and get noticed. At that moment, it was the best achievement in my life. It was like I've gotten so far in this career, so to speak. I remember I was 16 in April, and so I did my GCSEs that summer, and then 2 weeks after that I moved into my new club for pre-season. I was probably the fittest I've ever been in my life at that time as well. So everything was going right for me. I was doing all the right things on the pitch. Fitness-wise, I was at the top of my level, and the feeling started to sink in. Like I am going to make it. It's quite an opinionated business. People can see you're really good. You're amazing. This guy's going to be the next best thing. He's got amazing potential. And if that builds up, people will take interest in you, regardless if they've seen you or not.
Yeah.
But then that can also work negatively, and somebody might say, no, he's not got what it takes, or he's not good enough, before they've even seen you play. And before they've even seen you play, they don't have any interest in you. Just keep doing what you're doing. This is you. Like, keep it up, and you're going to make it. You're going to get the pro contract. This is like what you've been working for years and years. Then obviously, unfortunately, like last day of pre-season, I went in for tackle. I got tackled, and then my knee just blew up. It just swelled up. I was in writhing pain. Like, it was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt.
How did you feel in that moment when you knew that you realised that you injured your knee?
It was horrible. It was the worst pain I've ever been in. I just remember hearing a little pop in my knee, but all the thoughts were going into my head, thinking oh my god, what is this? I hope it's nothing serious. It's just a couple of weeks. The physio said it's nothing major. There's just a bit of swell and it'll go down over time. There's no longevity to it.
So the physio said one thing, but what actually happened to your knee?
I didn't know this at the time, and obviously the physios didn't know at the time, but I actually ruptured my ACL, which is my anterior cruciate ligament on my left knee. But at that time they had just told me I twisted it, and it was just a lot of bruising and swelling, which would take 2 to 3 weeks to heal.
So initially, from the very beginning, you were under the impression that you would only be out of playing your game for 2-3 weeks?
When he said you'll be out for 2 to 3 weeks, I didn't really think much of it. I went, that's okay, I can get back to my best in no time, and people forget about that and see what I can do on the pitch. After the 3 weeks, the pain just kept coming back, and I remember playing and I just had no control over the ball. I had no power in my shots.
Did it ever cross your mind that maybe the striker coming up behind you could possibly take your place?
Yeah, those thoughts definitely came into my head. I thought at the time, if I can get healed quickly enough, then it won't be a problem. 2 days later in training, twisted it again, and I think it was maybe about 5 times I twisted it.
Really?
In total, yeah.
Was it frustrating for you?
Extremely frustrating. It just got to the point where I couldn't kick a ball anymore. I had no power in my knee, and I just couldn't play football at all. And it was the worst experience I've ever had.
What was that like, being in your room in the evening time when you were trying to get everything so back to normal and back on track?
It was quite down, because obviously you've had that tunnel vision, so you weren't thinking about your family, your friends at the time, and then all those thoughts come flooding back, how much you miss your family, how much you miss your friends. But you could become very lonely and isolated, because obviously if you go home, you've got nobody there to go home to. You go to training, and obviously when you're injured you've got to do physio, so the rest of the team's outside training and you're by yourself in the gym working on your physio or just watching them train. So you're not actually part of the team, you're not engaging with them, you're not having a laugh with them or playing with them. So it can get very, very lonely, and you start to then doubt yourself a lot as well.
Did you ever feel homesick at any time?
For sure. So many times, especially when I was injured, I just wanted to go home, pack up and leave. Just go back to my mum and my dad.
At any point did the injury start to get to you, like mentally?
Yeah, I mean, you know, every time they said, "Oh, you can go back on the pitch now, like you're ready," I started to have doubts. You know, I kind of got a little bit scared because obviously every time I've came back, it's reoccurred, and obviously the pain's excruciating. And part of me was like, "But I kind of don't want to go back on the pitch because I don't want to experience that pain again."
Did you feel like you had to pretend that you were doing okay, pretend that you were doing fine, because everyone at home thought you were, you know, making it big?
Yeah, definitely. Especially like the people back home. Like I just had to pretend everything was going amazing, because I came so far, and you know, obviously, like I moved away from home, and like I said, I had that tunnel vision where I didn't really engage with my friends as much as I should have, just for this moment, like this dream I had. So I felt like me saying like, "Oh, it's not going as well as I hoped," was letting them down, and almost like letting myself down almost as well, like because I'd sacrificed so much to get to this point. And at the same time, there's pressure like within the club as well. Like when you get injured so many times, the voices kind of go in your head like, "Oh, he can't play football," or he gets injured like all the time, like he's not reliable," and you know, you start to, like, even though you can't hear them say it, you start to kind of believe it.
You were going from a stage where everyone thought you were the best for your age, you were at the peak of your fitness, you were on top of your game, but now you're getting those thoughts in your head that maybe I'm not good anymore. You can get yourself down.
I think that's a big thing as well in terms of confidence. Like if you start to think that it can affect your performance on the training pitch, like you know, when you don't feel good and when you feel like you're not good enough, then you kind of start to play like that almost as well at the same time. And that was what it was like every time I came back to training after my injuries. I kind of like felt like I wasn't getting back to that level. I just kind of deteriorated and got worse and worse.
In your career, that was kind of a point where everything kind of caught up with you and everything kind of came to a standstill. For you and for your physio, what was the next step then to take for your injury?
It was that physio who then said, like, "I've ruptured my ACL and the only way you're going to be able to recover from it is through operation." And that was a very scary time, obviously being so young, and you know, being told that you're going to have to get it operated on. It's the only way to get back to where you wanted to be.
Was there much of a recovery period from the operation?
They said it varies from about 6 to 9 months.
Okay.
And I knew in my head, like, that's already a year of my 2-year contract gone. Like, just recovery and physio. And then obviously the doubts start to come back, like, will I ever play football again? You know, you're looking at your knee, it's all scarred up, it's in a big cast, and you're doing the physio, but you're thinking, will I get back to the fitness that I was at? Will I be as good as I was, or will there always be that niggle in my knee? I think that's kind of when it starts to go downhill as well, when you start to lose faith in yourself. But shortly after my contract ran out, like the 2-year contract, they didn't offer me another one, and that was probably like the hardest thing to hear, you know, when the manager calls you to the office and then he just says he's letting you go. And it's kind of like that whole journey, that whole dreams just came to an abrupt end, and doing what you don't know what you're doing, because it's like, well, this is all I've been doing for like all these years, where do I go from here?
Yeah. How do you feel now about your injury? What stage are you at now at the moment?
I'm getting better. It's gradually getting there, but you know, I'm not supposed to play football at all at the moment. I really miss it. Like, you know, just playing football, getting on the pitch. And there's just been many ups and downs, but you know, I'm just in physio at the moment, and I've kind of just got to keep my head down and focus on the physio and just work on getting that strength back in my knee and getting that fitness back.
Yeah.